Welcome back to Kamen Review, episode number 71. This is discussing episodes 25 through 30. 25 is a weird one, to say the least. You have basically Skyrider, he's just patrolling his human form. He's coming across a woman about to give birth. And later on, the baby gets bigger and heavier. The point where the baby weighs 50 freaking pounds. And the baby was just born the day before. It's found out this kid is actually a child of a Neo-Shocker monster. Yeah, so a Neo-Shocker monster impregnated a woman just to have a kid. Nowadays, this would be classified as freaking rape. And yeah, it's not that good of an episode. It is by far, out of all these episodes I've watched so far, quite possibly the worst episode of the whole series. And by the way, practicing piggyback riding when you're nearly trying to choke a woman with your legs. And that is not piggyback practice. Yep. 26 basically is where we had this sort of this epidemic, not pandemic, epidemic, with this moth monster where he spreads this virus around. Takes schools hostage and find out one of them is actually Zergo's school, and of course Kamen gets involved, and it turns out his plan is to infect all these schools all over Tokyo, all these cannons, and it looks like Kamen is about to basically just deal with one, all of them about to go off, and then all of a sudden we see Kamen Rider X and Rider Man show up, and they basically deal with the cannons, and eventually maybe with the Skyrider at the very end. It was a pretty good episode. I'd say it was better than 25. 25 was bad. Really bad. 27. The first of a two-parter that I was so looking forward to watching. When I found about this series and when I found about these two episodes, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good. So the plan is to have, basically, they have this episode, the return of the second generation Neo-Shocker monsters. Simply put, these are all the previous monsters that Skyrider already beaten, including the Moth Monster, was only just like the previous episode. Yeah, they all get revived. Also, there's this plot involving this particular virus that melts stuff. Yes, a melting virus. And it's not via tank. Now, this tank is actually, this is the second time it appeared in the franchise for Kamen Rider, this particular tank for Neo-Shocker. The last time was actually in the Kamen Rider, in the 8 Riders versus Go-On movie. Yeah, that movie. So, you know the plot that a guy runs away, moves into the system, he runs away, and of course he has his daughter, and Sirocco has to protect the guy's daughter, which he does a good job with. And eventually, like, the camera does find out where they are. It's freedom, but he has to deal with, well, a tank. It's coming right at him. And you have, basically, the guy is like, whole episode where he finds him, and of course he fixes the damn thing. And he's going to launch a full-scale attack on Tokyo. And of course, the guy is being tortured. Well, he's there free by Kamen Rider. And of course, he confronts the tank. And he's like, and he attacks it, and he's like, how are you going to attack it? And it's like, see, he disappears, like, where's that cursed Kamen Rider? And then over the hill comes the freaking first 7 Kamen Riders. Kamen Rider 1, number 2, V3, Rider Man, X, and Amazon is Stronger. And you're like, oh crap, it's the Rider Corps. Yeah. And you have these 8 Kamen Riders where they basically beat the crap out of a freaking tank. When they use all their special kicks and all that moves, and they destroy the freaking tank. And of course the monster at the very end, like, oh yeah, everything is all good. By the way, we debut a new monster who's going to be the main villain of our next episode. But this 27, wow, this was so fun watching this one. Seeing 8 Kamen Riders beat the crap out of one tank. Yeah, it was so fun. And in our next episode, they continue working together to deal with a new threat, the revived Monster Corps, which their job is simply kidnap random people, including engineers, to basically dig into your surface to unlock magma. Well, the engineers, when he's kidnapped, like, what do you expect to think? There's no oil in Japan. he probably wouldn't know because he's an oil digger. So, that's with the magma, and of course he's forced into it. Eventually they do, in fact, get really close, and of course they stop. About to move forward, and about the episode, we have various Kamen Riders trying to study these monsters. The first 3 are completely random. It's like the first 2, along with Amazon for some reason. Yeah, I have no idea why in the world is these 3. And the next 3 to go after the monsters are Skyrider, V3, and for some reason, X. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. And I think like the third lineup, I remember correctly, I think it was Skyrider, Rider Man, and I think the last one was, I think it was V3, I think it was. Yeah, I get the reason why they had, now, oddly enough, in the case of Amazon, prior to this episode, Amazon has never, like, had a little team up with the original Kamen Riders. I'm like, that was actually really nice for the people who made Skyrider to have this happen. Now, I get the fact, yes, we did have Amazon have a team with his successors, Stronger, and, of course, also Skyrider in a really cool battle in the movie, which I got praise, basically, them for doing that, too. And, of course, team with Rider Man. It's just really good stuff here. And eventually, of course, this episode is noteworthy for the debut of the power mode. Well, basically, like, they all can't beat him. They tried to because the guy's too fast for them. So, they all agree they had to basically have Skyrider beat the main monster. Makes total sense because it's his series. They know it's his series. They're just guest stars. They know their role. They'll handle the monsters. The main one, Skyrider can handle by himself. Which, in my opinion, that was a smart move part of the writers. And then, of course, they have him full of friendly training. After he survives, they power him up, and his color changes from dark green to light green. And what was normally brown is now red. And this is also the same look. I actually did not. I basically did not mention the name of this mode for our review of the movie last episode, purely because the fact that the movie was supposed to take place between 24 and 25, but for some reason he's wearing this suit despite the fact I had not debuted in the series yet. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, then of course the monster's defeated after his power up mode, and of course Rider goes off, and they're not seen again. Though they do come back. When? 31. 29 is simply put Skyrider versus a mummy. No, seriously. He fights a freaking mummy monster. In 30, he fights a monster from Amazon who has telekinetic abilities. Though apparently he's this dream eater, like an anteater, and though he just be at the very end. But it's an odd episode. It's not as bad as 25, it was odd. I would definitely say the best episodes were 27, 28, because the only thing I would disappoint with this episode is that none of the Kamen Riders interacted with his mentor. Maybe because he was not the best about it. I would have loved it, but time will tell basically when they interact with him again. Okay, so, oh, by the way, before I wrap up, at this point, anytime they have these riders show up, they'll go to human form for some reason. They will soon from the image I saw, so look forward to that. So, yeah, and that's pretty much it for this particular video. I'm going to take a break from the series to do Blade of the Immortal. Yep, but the next video is going to be a comic corner. Yes, a comic corner. And it might be a little there, might be Blade of the Immortal. Okay, next video. Bye.